Welcome back to another ukulele tutorial. I'm Lara, and today we're looking at the song Yesterday by the Beatles. We'll look at 3 different ways to play this song. The first 2 ways will be strumming, and the third way will be fingerpicking. Throughout this lesson, you'll find the chords, lyrics, and patterns on screen, and you can download it all as a PDF from my Patreon page, in addition to my songbook that has all of the song sheets and patterns from all of the tutorials that I've shared. You'll find the link down below in the video description. I hope you'll join me for a play-along after the tutorial, where I'll play through the entire song and you can play along with me. In this play-along, you'll also see a demo of how to alternate between all of the patterns that we'll cover in this lesson. I want to point out that I'm playing a tenor with a low G. If you have a high G on your instrument, you can follow this entire tutorial and all of the patterns. Just keep in mind that your 4th string is 1 octave higher than mine, so the strumming patterns will sound similar on your instrument, but the fingerpicking patterns will sound a bit different because of this 1 octave difference. Now let's take a look at the chords that are used in this song and how to play them. If you're already familiar with these chords, then skip ahead to our first strumming pattern. Our first chord is G. I'm playing G with my index and middle finger on the 2nd fret of strings 3 and 1, and then my ring finger is also on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Next we have B7. This is a bar chord. I have my index finger across all 4 strings on the 2nd fret and my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. Next we have E minor. To play E minor, I have my index finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and my ring finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. Next we have our D chord. This is the 2nd fret of strings 2, 3, and 4. I'm playing this with my index, middle, and ring fingers. Then we have our C chord, 3rd fret of the 1st string. Next we have D7. For D7, I have my index finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string and my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. Next we have our A chord. I'm playing A with my index finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string and my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Finally, we have our A minor chord. A minor is simply the 2nd fret of the 4th string. I want to highlight the fingering options for a chord progression in the chorus. In this progression, we start on C, then we go to A minor, then to D7, and then to G. So this first fingering option, starting from C, is to use your middle finger to play A minor. If you do this, then you'll use your ring finger to play the 2nd string for D7, and then you'll move to form your G chord. The other option, starting from C, is to use your index finger for A minor, and then your middle finger for D7 on the 2nd string. Then you'll move these 2 fingers down 1 string and place your ring finger down on the 2nd string to form your G chord. You can try this both ways for your A minor and D7 fingering and see if you have a preference. Now we've come to our first strumming pattern. Oh, I believe in yesterday. This pattern is very straightforward. It's 1 down strum on each beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now while this pattern seems simple, the tricky part is knowing when to change chords as we move through each verse and each chorus. Some of our chords are held for 4 beats, some for 3, some for 2, and some for only 1. So this is the tricky part, is learning when to change chords. So let's take a close look at our first verse and how to apply this pattern. Taking a look at the first verse, in line 1, we're starting on a G chord. This chord is held for 4 beats, so we'll play all 4 down strums in this pattern on G. Next, we're going to our B7 chord. This chord is also held for 4 beats. Next, we're going to E minor. E minor is held for 3 beats, so we'll play 3 down strums on E minor, and then the 4th down strum in this pattern will be on our D chord. Next, we have our C chord at the end of line 1. This chord is held for 2 beats, so we'll play 2 down strums on C, and we'll finish our pattern with 2 down strums on the D7 chord that starts line 2. To finish line 2, we're going back to our G chord. This chord is held for 3 beats, so we'll play 3 down strums on G, and we'll finish the pattern with our 4th down strum on the D chord that starts line 3. To finish the verse and the rest of line 3, we'll play our E minor, A, C, and G chords for 2 beats or 2 down strums each. Now I'll play through verse 1, adding in the lyrics. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Now we've come to the second way of strumming this song. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Compared to our first version, we're cutting back on the number of down strums. We're actually using 2 different patterns. One is going to be a down strum on beats 1 and 3, and the other will be a down strum on beats 1 and 4. So depending on how many beats each chord is held for, we'll use either pattern 2 or pattern 3. So let's take a close look at both of these patterns and how to apply them to our verses. For pattern 2, we're going to play a down strum on the 1st and 3rd of every 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. You also have the option of playing these down strums as arpeggios or broken chords. This gives a sweeter sound to the song versus the traditional down strums. Our third pattern is going to be a down strum on the 1st and 4th of every 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if we play this using arpeggios, 1, 2, 3, 4. Taking a look at our second verse, this verse, as well as verses 3 and 4, use the same chord progression as verse 1. So all of the chords in these verses are held for the same number of beats as the first verse. Starting on our G chord, we'll apply pattern 2 to our G and B7 chords. So starting on G, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then going to B7, we'll play pattern 2 once again. 1, 2, to E minor, we're going to our pattern 3. We'll play one down strum on E minor, and then our final down strum on our 4th beat will be on our D chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. To finish line 1, we're going to our C chord and back to pattern 2. We'll play our first down strum on C and our second down strum on D7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now moving to our G chord, we're going back to pattern 3. We'll play our down strum on the first beat on G, and then our final down strum on the 4th beat on the D chord that begins line 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. The remaining 4 chords at the end of line 3 are held for 2 beats each, so we'll go back to pattern 2 with one down strum or arpeggio on each chord. Now I'll play through the second verse, adding in the lyrics. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Now that we've looked at how to strum the verses in this song, let's take a look at how to apply our strumming patterns to the chorus. Taking a look at our chorus using our first strumming pattern, we're starting on our B7 chord for 4 beats, so we'll play 4 down strums on B7. Then we're going to E minor for 1 beat or 1 down strum, then 1 down strum on D, and 2 down strums on C. In line 2, we're going to our A minor chord for 2 beats, and then D7 for 2 beats, and then our G chord for 4 beats. Lines 3 and 4 are played the same way as lines 1 and 2, using the same chord progression. Now let's look at these same lines using our second strumming version. For the chorus, we're only going to apply pattern 2. We're not going to use pattern 3. So each time we play pattern 2 in the chorus, we'll either play 2 down strums or 2 arpeggios on a single chord, or we may split the pattern between 2 chords. Starting on B7, we have 2 down strums or 2 arpeggios. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to our E minor chord. 1, 2. We're going to skip our D chord and play C on our 3rd beat. 3, 4. In line 2, we'll go to our A minor chord. We're going to split the pattern between A minor and D7. So we have 1 arpeggio on A minor and 1 arpeggio on D7. Then we go to G for our full pattern, 2 down strums or 2 arpeggios. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll play through the entire chorus, adding in the lyrics. I'll apply pattern 1 to lines 1 and 2, and pattern 2 to lines 3 and 4. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give this video a thumbs up and thank you for subscribing. I always enjoy hearing from you, so feel free to leave me any feedback down below in the comments. Now we've come to the third way of playing this song, which is finger picking. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. We're going to use two different finger picking patterns for this song, depending on how long each chord is held. The first pattern sounds like this. And the second pattern sounds like this. Let's take a close look at both patterns and how to apply them to the verses and the chorus. Here's a look at pattern 4 played slowly on a G chord. I'm starting with my thumb on the 4th string, index finger on the 3rd string, then I'm playing strings 1 and 2 together with my middle and ring fingers. Then that sequence repeats. The rhythm here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Bringing this pattern up to the tempo of the song sounds like this. And here is pattern 5 played slowly on a G chord. I'm playing strings 4 down to 1 with my thumb, index finger, middle finger, and ring finger. Then I'm picking all 4 strings at once. The rhythm of this pattern is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Bringing pattern 5 up to the tempo of this song will sound like this. Moving into verse 3, we're starting on our G chord with pattern 4. Then we'll go to B7, staying with pattern 4. Then we're going to E minor. When we go to E minor, we're changing to pattern 5. We'll play strings 4 down to 1 on E minor, and then when we pick all 4 strings, we're going to do that on our D chord. Next we're going to our C chord and back to pattern 4. We'll play the first half of pattern 4 on our C chord, and the second half on our D7 chord that starts line 2. Then we're going to our G chord and back to pattern 5. Here we'll play strings 4 down to 1 on our G chord, and then our 4th beat, where we fingerpick all 4 strings, will be on the D chord that starts line 3. To finish line 3, we're going to our E minor chord and back to pattern 4. We're going to split pattern 4 between E minor and A, and then split it once again between C and G. Now I'll play through the entire verse twice, first instrumental only, and then I'll add in the lyrics. And now with the lyrics. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Now let's take a look at how to fingerpick the chorus. For the chorus, we're going to use only pattern 4, not pattern 5. Starting on B7, we'll play our full pattern. Then we're going to our E minor chord. We'll play the first half of our pattern on E minor and the second half on C, so we're skipping our D chord. In line 2, we're going to A minor, and we'll play the first half of our pattern on A minor, and the second half on D7. Then we'll play our full pattern on G. We'll repeat that entire sequence for lines 3 and 4. Here's how it looks to play through the entire chorus using pattern 4, adding in the lyrics. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. We have one final piece of the song to take a look at, and this is the outro. The outro is a single line that is hummed that finishes the song. We'll look at all 3 ways to play the outro. First, starting with our first strumming pattern. We're going to play 2 down strums on each chord. We can also apply pattern 2, playing 1 down strum or 1 arpeggio on each chord. And our third version will be to fingerpick the outro using pattern 4. We'll split this pattern between E minor and A, and then we'll split it again between C and G. Now we're moving into our play along. I'm going to play through the entire song, instrumental only, so you can really hear how I move back and forth between the different patterns. You'll find the chords and lyrics on screen, so you can play along with me, and if you'd like, you can also sing the lyrics. Feel free to choose any one of the 3 versions that we've covered in this lesson for the play along. You can strum it using pattern 1, or strum it using patterns 2 and 3, or you can fingerpick the song using patterns 4 and 5. If you're feeling ambitious, you can also alternate between the patterns. 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope you've enjoyed learning these beautiful ways to play yesterday, from strumming to fingerpicking. Have fun practicing, and thank you for watching.